This three-bean casserole is dumb.
Scooby-Doo-bop-biddy-bop-bop-bop. I'm so sorry, babe. I hadn't tasted him yet,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Looking forward to, you know, like,
Don't talk about the ingredients. I know. Yeah.
After it's just a surprise for your mouth.
yeah.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes. We've got somewhat breaking news. The big vote that they did for the X-Men office for the fan vote for the last member of the X-Men team has been announced, and it's Polaris. I think Polaris was probably one of the favorites to win the vote and become that last member. And here to talk with me about that is award-winning editor, comic book writer, Joe Coralla. How you doing, Joe?
All right, Wes. How are you?
I'm doing pretty okay. So I think most people expected Polaris was going to be in the top 2 or 3. And me personally, I wanted Forge. But I'm a little bit surprised that they're giving away one of the big reveals in the Hellfire Gala. It felt like this was one of the reasons you're supposed to read the event, not just for the party, but for the announcement of the new X-Men team and specifically the winner of the fan vote. Like, what point does this serve? I'm confused.
Yeah, I mean, we have a long history now of Previews magazine and things like that, spoiling who wins these things or the big reveals or who dies in an event. This seems unnecessary because they put out like these strips of these like 6-panel strips to kind of show who had lost and all of that, and they were really hand waving this. I don't know to what ends, because the reveal here isn't that big of a deal. Polaris is already in a book. It's not like fans can be like, oh, wow, I haven't seen Polaris in years. It's like, no, you've been reading Polaris regularly if you want X Factor. That's not it. And, you know, for anyone confused, no, this isn't the band that did the theme song for The Adventures of Pete and Pete. It's the green-haired, sometimes daughter of Magneto, sometimes not. Yeah, I don't know. She seemed like such a safe pick. And there were also a lot of like, I don't know, there were a lot of tells on like social media. It seemed like you know, there was a lot of friendly banter and Leah kind of doing a lot of tweets of like, you know, don't take my baby away from me and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what the point of any of this is, except to maybe entertain a few hundred people on Twitter.
Yeah, it seems surprising. They did give some initial voting results out kind of early, but we hadn't had any updates. And like they had these weird like they would reveal that 2 characters didn't win. You know, I think the first ones were Forge and I can't remember that character. It was Marrow and Boom Boom and on and on. We knew that the final 2 were going to be Polaris and Banshee, the two longest standing characters in the X-Men universe. So it kind of made sense.
Sure, right from the Silver Age.
It feels like it's just like a wah-wah. There you go. You know the result.
Yeah.
And they kind of last. Not that I really feel that there was going to be a lot of impact anyway, but if there was going to be impact, it's gone. Now let's talk about Leah Williams. Obviously, Polaris she's kind of the star of X Factor.
Yeah.
But why would they include that character in there? Like, is she going to be in both books?
I guess not, but like, I mean, this is another thing to drive soap opera kind of drama. You know, maybe she's going to get kicked out of X Factor. Maybe she's, you know, maybe she's like drafted into X-Men kind of against her will, and she has things she wants to finish. There's ways they could do this that could add some intrigue. But
yeah, it just seems like I'm not friends with Leah Williams or anything, and I'm not reading X Factor. I do feel a little bit bad for her. That's like definitely the highest profile character that's in her series. So
yeah,
whatever esteem she had has apparently been removed.
Yeah,
so
but
the character can move up.
This might be a situation eternally where they're like, okay, so we're gonna do this shakeup. We're gonna get Polaris over to Gerry Duggan. We're gonna give you 1 or 2 big characters to kind of replace her, and that's gonna be a nice jolt to X Factor.
You can have Kid Cable.
You know, like, yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's like, oh, you know what? We're going to give you Forge and Banshee or whatever it is, or we're going to give you Forge and Boom Boom, or, you know, like they might be like, look, we're going to, or, you know, we'll give you, you know, Rain and Strong Guy, or, you know, Layla Miller's going to come back, or something. You know, there's a bunch of things they could do. And this could be like the shot in the arm for the book to spike sales again, to be like, you know, it's the all new X Factor and it's an all new team. So that could be what they're doing.
I was hoping maybe they just retire the book, but it doesn't sound like that's happening. I think we'll probably get that solicited out into July. Now,
Yeah,
obviously, this is coinciding with X Factor, and Gerry Duggan's taken over the new X-Men title. It's being rebooted back to #1.
mm-hmm.
I don't know, what's the selling point of Hellfire Gala? Is it just the costumes? Is it the new X-Men team? Is it the final issue of Jonathan Hickman writing the X-Men title that he started?
Yeah, I mean, I guess now that we know Hickman's going to be doing a new book, or a new event, whatever this book's going to end up being exactly, it seems like maybe the Hellfire Gala is going to be, you know, the absolute carnage of the X-Men books, where it's going to be a lead up into events to come. Like it's going to
be the prequel to like the big event, and maybe a couple of big storylines that are going to be going on in other books.
Yeah. You know, I imagine that's what it's going to be, because this is, I guess, a place where you could probably start some infighting, start setting up relationship fallouts between characters and things like that. Like maybe that's what they'll use it for.
Come on, it's got to be the Red Wedding, right, Joe? We're going to have mass murders going on here, right? Apocalypse is coming back. He's going to be a villain again, and he's chopping heads.
Yeah, I would love if we get a random person coming in. But again, I feel like if that does happen, my gut reaction here is it's going to be a setup still. Like maybe Apocalypse comes back with his horsemen and he's ready to wage war, but it's going to be one of those things where it's like, I'm going to come here, I'm going to state that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to leave to get ready for the event in a few months.
Because his kids are still over there, and he's still Dad Apocalypse.
Yeah,
I gotta look on the little ones, but I'm coming.
Yeah, you know, I think we'll probably get teasers of something. Like maybe Destiny just shows up, and you know, again, it'll be like a teaser of what's to come. You know, maybe someone will be at the party, and then it's revealed that they're really an advanced Sentinel or something like that. You know, it'll just be things like that that'll like set up whatever the next big event's going to be, because this whole line is really about milking things and getting, you know, basically tempting you with, don't worry, interesting things are going to happen soon. Don't worry, we're going to go a few months, and then we're going to have like that vault issue with the Children of the Vault, and maybe that'll pique your interest a bit, and then we're going to go by a little longer, and then like we're going to sprinkle in some stuff in the Hellfire Gala, and then maybe we'll get to like the fall, and then maybe we'll start setting up the event. You know, like that seems to be the modus operandi of the books.
I don't get the X-Men universe as they're currently it's constructed, and they're executing it right now. I thought this was supposed to be one of the reasons to get people to read the Hellfire Gala. Apparently, I was wrong. Mm-hmm. The fan vote was not all that important, but we do know there are 3 red band issues that are supposed to be big deals. I imagine one of them is the announcement of the new team. Oh, Joe, did you know? I forgot about this.
Sure.
They were talking to Jordan White, and he's talking about what a great time it was. And then in the interview, he's like, they did a vote on Krakoa, and there's a X-Men representing each district. Did you know Krakoa is separated into districts like in what's that? Mockingjay stuff.
Oh, I feel like we've seen some maps that have had the districts, but I didn't know that was like a voting district.
Yeah, they're voting districts, and that's so. I guess if you can only get an X-Men from each district. Like, is the blue side of the moon a district, or is Cyclops not even eligible?
This seems very Hunger Games.
Guess what? That's it. Hunger Games. It's
Well,
pretty.
like okay, but then I also don't understand what's the point of having a team still. I still don't get that.
Well, I think the point is so they can reboot, relaunch it with a new number one, and Jonathan Hickman can go tell the stories he was telling in another book that's actually launching as a number one.
Sure.
That's the way I've taken it. So,
Yeah.
yep. News to me. Here's news flash to all the viewers. If you didn't know, Krakoa is set up into districts, and there's going to be an X-Men, representing each district on the team coming at Hellfire Gala. I don't know if that's enough to get you excited for this event and get you excited for X-Men. I wish I were in your shoes because I'm just sitting here going, what the hell?
There needs to be more info sheets so we know all the different X-Men that are in these different districts so we can understand who could possibly be on the team.
Oh, now you're pushing buttons because I got through a few pages of Children of the Atom. I am going to review that with Doc on Monday, but that was the worst info sheet I've ever seen in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When it was whatever character that was his workout routine.
Well, that was like an Instagram feed, right, or something like that. Like,
don't you try and make it better. It was
his
workout routine.
This is, like I don't want to hear from an old man like you about that. You Zoomers come up in the comments and say if you can relate to the Instagram blog posts.
When I saw that, I was like, these info sheets have got to go.
It was like fist bumps too instead of likes. Yeah.
It was a good idea when Jonathan Hickman used it in House of X Powers of 10, and he's used it to varying degrees of success during Dawn of X. But for the most part, it's like broken down to poetry and workout routines and shit like that. I'm going to use the word infuriating when I see it. It's like, what a waste.
I don't know. I'm going to hold off and wait to hear what Doc says about this because I'm sure he'll be a more forgiving of those kind of data sheets.
Going to be completely level-headed, and he's probably going to turn my opinion on that.
There we go. Like it's about time he comes around and gets with the program because this is how all comics are going to be moving forward, and you better get in line now. Yeah,
absolutely. There's so much. The integration of social media into comic books as far as presenting information is ridiculous, but that is we're far off track here. So Polaris is the fan vote. We're not sure what's going on with Hellfire Gala. Joe, do you have anything else left to say before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I guess people who like Polaris but maybe haven't been enjoying X Factor, maybe this will be exciting to see Polaris on a team. I don't know. I don't think that's a selling point. This might shake up Leah Williams' X Factor, depending on who they add or what changes are made on the team. That could make that book more interesting. So we'll see. There's potential here. I feel like a lot of people probably feel like they've either they've already been burned or they already like what's going on. So I'm not sure if this is gonna appease either camp, but we'll see. House of X Powers of 10 came out of left field and really invigorated for a lot of people. So I am open to being reinvigorated.
Absolutely. And Forge was robbed. I just want to put that out there before we let this go. Forge should have won.